Okay, so the Illuminati hate him. It's John, and he's gonna talk about open source social media. Welcome, John.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks, everybody. All right, first one up, let's jump in. Okay, quick question for you. Anybody here check your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter on your phone today? Hands in the air, phones in the air. Who did? Who did? How many? Wow, that's a lot. Wow, okay, thank you. Holy cow. We're sure dependent on these things, aren't we? Anybody remember, they gave these programs to us for free. Anybody remember Google Plus though? That's another network. Google Plus, yeah? They shut it down. Biggest internet company in the world, and they shut it down like that. Same thing could happen to these other ones. Facebook could be shut down. It's a private company. You don't own it. You don't control it. And there's a certain price you pay for these things as well. Surveillance, they sell your data. That's something we just have to accept, right? We just kind of have to roll over and deal with it, because I love my pictures of my family from my sister. So I guess we're just going to have to put up with that and roll over, right? Every day there's another scandal. You hear about something where YouTube sells your data, where YouTube is pushing algorithms about conspiracy theories. There are alternatives. Just like when you buy a car, you should be able to repair it. You should be able to look under the hood. The same philosophy applies to computer programs. There are a lot of people working on what's called open source, and the philosophy is the same, that you should be able to look under the hood of the program you're using, tinker with it, improve it. And they've been working on social media. So if you've been using all of these programs like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, there are alternatives, and you don't have to use them for the rest of your life. Here's one alternative. For Facebook, it's called Friendica. Friendica is an open source social media program. It's one of the ones that is contending to replace Facebook. And you can do just about everything on there. Has anybody here ever created a separate Facebook account for work and for their friends? Anybody? Yeah, I see you there. Well, if you're going to do that, here's what it looks like inside. If you're going to create a separate account for work, for play, for different purposes, maybe try something on Friendica instead. Why stay trapped in the same approach, the same program? Instagram's another one. It's pretty big. It's pretty popular these days. This is the alternative. It's called PixelFed. PixelFed is a picture sharing platform. You install it on a website. You can sign up on other ones that people are hosting. And unlike Instagram, you can easily share photos via a link. If you post a photo on PixelFed, here it is, you can share that link anywhere, and unlike Instagram, it doesn't get all fiddly or tricky. You can just share it and people see the picture. The only downside is no sexy phone app, and I know people love using Instagram on their phone. They're working on that. Another one, if you have tried YouTube, you used YouTube, you know that there's a rise in flat earth conspiracy theories. Why? Because YouTube actually helped facilitate that. If you're clicking on YouTube, it takes you to some pretty weird things with their algorithm. This is PeerTube. PeerTube embeds like YouTube, shares video like YouTube, and uses peer-to-peer streaming technology. So it's pretty similar to torrenting. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Very similar, but doesn't play games with your head. And it doesn't serve up ads either. That's the amazing thing. These are all ad-free because they're citizen-based and citizen-run. This is the Twitter alternative. If you like news, if you're trying to keep up on current politics, then you're going to be using Twitter. And Mastodon uses a cute elephant instead of a little bird. Instead of tweets, there are toots. Instead of retweets, there are boosts. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It was created by a German 20-something guy, and it was a few years ago. Now it's got more than 2 million users. So they must be doing something right. And it's pretty easy to use. I've been playing around with all of these, and I just wanted to share my enthusiasm for it if you wanted to check it out. and see some alternatives, because Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they're not going to be around forever. And if you want to engage with this, the great thing is you're the boss. You're in control. You can run it like running a website. The downside is there's not a lot of phone apps. There are some, but most people live on their phones. And everybody is on the big 4 programs already. So it's kind of hard to get them to move off. And what really intimidates people, there's no one central place to sign up. So people are unused to that. They want one central place, like one company. The upside, your data isn't sold, no ads, you're in charge, and here's the fun bit. Ridiculous domain names. That's the big difference. They're decentralized, you're in charge, crazy domain names, like Weed is Life for people who like the happy herb. Waterfowl.social, because who doesn't love waterfowl? Sunbeam.city, for the solar punks out there, any solar punks. And of course, Take Over the World, because everybody wants to. Those are the crazy domain names you have. And I bought one for you as well. We've set up a Nerd Night instance at nerdnight.ninja. So please, guys, come on, join us, have some fun. If we just have 1 or 2 people, I don't care. It's just for fun to play around. So please join us at Mastodon instance, nerdnight.ninja. And you can sign up on the computer over there with the attractive young lady who is waving her hands. And come up and say hello. Say hello to the Nerd Night staff. We'll get you started. Thank you. And that's all for now. Thank you very much.
Any questions for John from the audience? Yes. Why Ninja, John?
I wanted the silliest name possible. We can choose another one. They're like $8 for domains. They're crazy.
You make it rain domains. Other questions? Yes. How do you know these open source websites won't sell your data?
Good question. Economy of scale. If you have 8 million users, people will want to buy that data. If you have 800 million, they'll want to buy that data. If you have 80, is somebody going to track you down? They could sell the data, but there's not a lot of money in it for the administrator. They'd have to go bit by bit, site by site. So in theory, yes. But it's a lot harder, isn't it? Well, the thing is, it's a grassroots up approach rather than a top-down approach. If you have all of your social media data in one silo with hundreds of millions of people, a lot easier to sell your data. So you're right, there is no ethical restraint, but there's never been any ethical restraint from the big dogs as it is.
So you said they don't want to go after like the little domain guy if they only have 80 users, but like if I join nerdnight.ninja, can I talk to more than like the 2 people who have signed up so far on Mastodon?
Absolutely. The exciting thing is, regardless of whether you're at nerdnight.ninja, that's nerdnight.ninja, you can talk to anybody on any other Mastodon instance and any other pixel-fed, PeerTube, or Friendica instance, because they're all federated. They all interoperate.
So I can post to Weed is Life from nerdnight.ninja if I wanted to.
Well, what you do is you post, yes, more or less. If you post on Weed is Life and I'm following you, then I can see you. And if I'm cruising around and I check into Weed is Life, then I could see you and I'd be interested in following you. And then you might say, no, I don't want to follow you. You're weird because you're a solar punk, man. I don't know about those solar punks. They're radicals.
Fascinating. We got time for one more question. Yeah, dude in the back. Yeah, spicy question. So you're saying Facebook is a big evil corporation, but they have a lot of data, so they can constantly improve features. What do you say to people who say that open source things are just copycats of Facebook or Instagram or all those like massive user sort of honed offerings?
It's a good point. I would say that what's amazing is how small these operations are and how they've been able to rival the big companies. The big companies have hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of thousands of developers, but they're locked down. They're a closed shop. But with open source, somebody has a great idea, they can suggest it to the developer, and the developers share it widely. So they're tested in a much more open way than the others are. The only reason that Facebook, Instagram, all these others have a few small extra features is they're huge, but they'd be a lot better themselves if they were open source and you could see the code under the hood. So the fact that these programs can rival the functionality of the big silos at a fraction of the cost shows that it might be an effective model for open source. But you're right, they should, and here's something else I should point out. Mastodon is not Twitter, and PixelFed is not Instagram. They're close to them, but they're already diverging off into their own identities as programs. We've had people try to get on Mastodon, like celebrities, and they've been told, you need to cool down your language, man. This is a different platform here. So they're already developing their own personalities, and I'm enjoying seeing that grow and change.
Cool. I think that's it. Round of applause for John Weeks. And you guys... Woo! Thanks, John.